Hello and welcome back to another video, and as you can see, the topper is finally put back together. There is about 2 or 3 other videos up on the YouTube channel about the topper, so if you haven't watched them, I recommend you going back to watch them just to be filled in from the start when we actually started rebuilding the topper and why we're rebuilding the topper. All that is explained in the last couple of videos about the topper, so if you haven't watched it, I recommend going back and watching it, and that should fill you in then. Because in today's video we're just going to focus on the skids here, because that was the last thing we had to make and they're finally made. As you can see, the far side as well. We only put one bolt on each side of the skids just to put the skids up to see does these holes line up with the lug we have at the back to hold the skids on to the actual topper. But anyways, we will get to that momentarily. But first, this skid here, we got that up in a warehouse or factory that deals with steel, like cutting steel, welding steel, bending steel, and just making girders for roofs and sheds and all that. So that's where we got this out of. There was a sheet of this stuff on the floor up there. We asked him was it being used, he said it wasn't, and we measured it and we could get enough to get 2 skids out of it, so we got that cut up there. And then also up there we got this lip bent up there as well, the 90-degree lip, we got that bent up in that place as well. And once we got that done, we measured out the the circle here on this. We put down, I think it was one of the cap covers for the gearbox or PTO shaft. We basically put that down on top of it and got a nice little circular bit in the corner of it. And then we got the angle grinder, and when we cut that circular out, it's the same on the back side of it, and the far skid is the exact same as well. And then we got this piece of length here. I don't know, did we get it in Archers? I think it was Archers we got it in. So we got this in Archers, we got a length of it. We cut it roughly to size and we welded it on. This was all flat. This was basically going out that way flat. So we welded it on. So once we welded the bottom bit onto the face of the skid, obviously again this was coming out flat, we got our gas and we applied heat to this and then got a hammer and basically hammered it up. We done the same on the back end of the skid, and again the far end, that the skid over there is the exact same process of what happened with the skid. So we got heat, we heated it up, and then we hammered it into place, which was actually fairly easier to bend than I thought. And then when this was bent, we obviously then put a line of weld in it just to keep that bend in place, and then it won't be able to move anywhere. Now, there is one thing missing out of this that you may have noticed, you may have seen it. The reason, there's one reason, we totally forgot all about it when we welded all this and bent it and all that. We were like, yes, that's finished. We were so happy with it, we just totally forgot about this little piece. And 2, we didn't have the materials for it. We were meant to buy it, but again, we also forgot to buy those materials. And what it is a little bit of flat iron that goes up here. Well, either goes there or there. It's just one. Basically, behind the holes here, just to strengthen that section there. It's a bit of flat that goes up there, and it's on the old skids, I will show you. But it's a bit of flat that goes there. It's welded there and welded down there, and it's supposed to give strength to this. And it's the same for that one, and that one. Just like these strips there, as you can see, I have to hold up this other one with my hand, but you can see the strips, they're on the front of the hole, on the you know, sort of facing out towards the ends of them, and it's the same on that one. So what we need is a bit of flat. We don't have any of this size. We're trying to make the topper of very similar materials and sizes to what was already on it. So we want to get a bit of flat that's about this thickness and whatnot, that thickness and that width. So we have to get a bit of that, a length of that in archers or somewhere, cut it to size that it fits sort of in between on our new slides, and then weld them in, and that basically just supports those holes there. So that's the only thing missing on the slides here, is a bit of flat, basically to go up there, and one there, and obviously two on the other slide, the far side. And then these holes, there was 6 holes on the old slides that I'm after showing you. So we put 6 on this. The old man wanted to put a 7th one in it to either lower it down or lift it up. I can't remember which it was, but he wanted to put a 7th hole in it, and I said, sure, don't bother. Whatever setting we put it at, the way we do it is we have the slides level with the top of the topper. At the moment, it's a bit low at that. The slide is just slightly a bit higher than the topper itself, but if we're going using it, the skids here would be dead even with the top of the topper. We won't have it too low, because obviously the blades, once the gearbox goes in it and the blades will be hanging down a small bit as well, and it'll only be sort of clipping the ground, and it'll be mad breaking shear bolts on the PTO. So we don't have it too low because of that very reason, but we don't have it too high because it's not cutting anything if it's too high. Again, if we wanted to cut high, we can easily adjust it, but as I mentioned, that's the height we do have it at. That's how we measure it, and usually it never changes from that height. So what we done was, we had the topper on the back of the tractor. The tractor is gone now, it's in use, but we had it on the back of the topper. We had it lifted up a small bit and tilted out so that it's dead even. We put the skids up against them, as level as possible. We had a jack then at the back as well, just to adjust it. And then I was up in the tractor, either lifting up the lift or lifting it down, or sucking in and out the ram to get the topper dead even, so we can get an exact measurements for the holes on the skid. And how we marked it was, we crawled underneath it with a marker, and basically that lug there's 2 holes in it. We got the marker in one of the holes and drew the circle, and then for the bottom hole stuck the marker in and drew a circle there. And then we got the old skid, we planted the old skid then on top of it. We lined the 2 holes that we marked with the holes on the old skid, and then we marked the rest of the holes. And then we got a magnetic drill and we drilled them. And we done basically the far side. We marked the 2 holes with the marker, put the old one on top, and marked out the rest of them and drilled them. And to get total accuracy all around, we done the exact same this side. We could have planted that one down on top of this one, or the old one down on top of it, but we done the exact same steps to mark out the two skids, just to get complete accuracy on them. And now, the reason we only have 1 bolt in it was we wanted to put the skids on to make sure that the holes lined up, and they kind of do. As you can see, they more or less line up evenly. So we only put 1 bolt on them just to see does it line up and all that. because the skids have to come off anyways again. And this has to come off, this sort of A-frame has to come off as well, because they cannot dip it with all that stuff on it, so we have to take the skids off it, we have to take that A-frame off it, get the topper itself dipped, get the skids dipped, and get that dipped. But they'll be sent up to the place at the same time, but they'll be dipped separately. So what we do at the place where we got the skids cut and the lip bent on them, we send it up to that place, and then a lorry comes from a different part of the country, collects everything that needs to be dipped from there, and that gets done every Wednesday. But we won't be able to bring it up this Wednesday because we're too busy with silage and stuff. So it'll have to be Wednesday next week. But we'll send it up there. A lorry will come. It'll take it on the Wednesday. They'll get it dipped, and then the following Wednesday they bring it back, and it's fully dipped. But we'll get the topper, the skids, and the A-frame back together, even though they'll be dipped separately. But we'll be sending them up together. Obviously, they won't be connected to the topper. They'll be sent up in the pieces. They'll be dipped separately, but they'll all be dipped. They'll all be dipped at the end of the day, and we'll get them back then the following Wednesday, all dipped, if you know what I mean. And then once we get it back, it's just to put the skids on properly, put the 2 nuts and bolts on them instead of the 1. We won't be getting it dipped until we get those bits welded on first. But once that's done, those bits are welded on, it's all dipped. We put the 2 skids back on, the A-frame. We have to get another chain to go from there to that lug there, but we can get that in like kind of Co-op or Archers or something. And then all we have to do is put on the gearbox, sharpen the blades, connect the PTO to it, and it is ready for action. And I can't wait. But that is now going to be the end of today's video. I know it was more of me sort of talking than actual showing you work on it, but I couldn't really get much because I was helping with the skids as well, drilling the holes, lining up the holes, so I couldn't really be recording as well. I tried to get as much footage as I could. I think I got plenty anyways, enough of the welding, not that you can see much in the welding clips. But again, when we're heating up the bottoms and bending them, I got a nice couple of clips of that as well. But as I said, this is going to be the end of today's video. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please do give me a like. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe and turn on the bell notification to be notified of every future video I upload. I also have my own merch. The link to that will be down in the description. And also, you can check out the gate mate. I have a full video about the gate mate on the YouTube channel. So if you want more information or want to know anything about it, you can watch my video or go onto the website. The link to the gate mate will also be down in the description. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Take care.